Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm going to talk about my experiences growing up and as I was older with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is the Mormons. I was born in the 1950s, grew up in the 1960s and 70s. I served a mission for the church in the Colorado-Denver mission in 1975 to 1977. And things have kind of changed the way the church does things over the years. But when I was a missionary, I was a true believer. I absolutely believed that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was true, and I testified of it with all of my heart, and that it was true, and that Joseph Smith was a prophet, and that the Church of Jesus Christ had been restored on the earth, and all of those things. And I got home from my mission and continued to stay faithful in the church. I served in different callings, the elders quorum president. I was later in a bishopric. I was taught seminary and even taught Institute of Religion. I worked in the temple. I just did a lot of callings. Young men's president, just so many different things over the many years, and was very, very faithful in the church. And I was kind of an all or nothing Mormon. Either you do it all or you don't do it all. And I believe that part of courage is standing up for what you know to be truth. Stand for truth and be honest. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, because I left the church. And when I was growing up and all the time through the church, I always understood that when people left the church, it was because they had their feelings hurt and so they left it, or two, because they wanted to sin, or Satan tempted them away from the church. It was basically because they were being bad. That's why they left the church. And by the way, the gossip mill in the church is pathetic. There's so much gossip. So as I studied the church, particularly when I was teaching seminary and institute, I was trying to stay ahead of the students. And the way I ended up out of the church was I basically learned my way out of the church. It was the doctrines and things that didn't make sense, and it wasn't a matter of wanting to sin or wanting to do whatever. Now, I'm sure the rumors, in fact, I already know because it come back to me. There's rumors that have gone around that the reason I left the church is because I'm gay and want to practice being gay, and so Satan tempted me to be gay and all of that. Well, that's just not true. I am gay, but it's not true, because if the church was true, I would not do anything gay. I would do what they said, because I would believe in doing it. It's not because I wanted to drink, not because I wanted to smoke, which I don't do anyway. So I didn't have my feelings hurt. Well, I mean, I've had my feelings hurt, but I didn't leave the church because my feelings were hurt. I wouldn't leave for a reason like that. That's just silly. And I've talked to a lot of other members of the church, former members of the church, who have left the church. And I have yet to meet one who left the church because their feelings were hurt. And I have yet to talk to one who left the church because it was too hard to hack, because they wanted to commit sin and they just couldn't handle that. And I haven't met any of them. Everyone that I've met who's left the church, the reason they left the church was because of the doctrines of the church. Now, I know that to members of the church, that's a hard thing to hear. And at this point, you're probably going to turn it off because you're going to go, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear it. And you're not going to want to hear what I'm about to say, because I'm going to talk about courage. The rumors that go around about people who leave the church is that they have no courage and they have no spine because they want to sin, or that Satan has led them away into darkness. And now all there is darkness left in them. That's what you're taught. That's wrong. That's not what happens. That's wrong. And if that's what you're saying, you're wrong. That they have no courage. The people who left the church have more courage than many that are in the church. Now, there are people in the church that are true believers like I was. And if you're a true believer and you're sheep and you're following with faith and you're following what you believe the church is true and you really believe it, then fine, you have courage to stand up for your faith. Fine. I'm talking to those who know better. I know several people. I know a man, I don't want to get too close to who this is, but I know someone who is a bishop. And he had the trial of his faith, and he knows that the church is not true. But he's remained in church callings, he's remained as a bishop, he just quietly keeps doing it. He professes it to be true, and he knows better. He knows it's not. He bears his testimony that it's true. He likes the social part of it. You are a hypocrite and a liar. If you had any spine or backbone whatsoever, if you know that it is false, the courage would be to call it out. Not to just spinelessly go along with it because you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to hurt your marriage. You don't want to hurt whatever. Because what you're doing is hurting other people by doing that. And then when you call out people that leave the church, especially when you know better and you see people who leave the church and then you say, oh, they left the church, the devil got hold of them. They got hold of anti-Mormon stuff. They wanted to sin. Oh my gosh, you are spineless. You are a spineless coward. That's what you are. Courage is standing up for real truth. Courage isn't pretending to stand up for something. That is wrong. That is spineless. That is cowardice. You are a coward. If you know the church isn't true, or if you have any questioning about the church, then check it out. Find out if it's true or not. Use your brain. Don't just blindlessly be a sheep and possibly get let off a cliff, right? I hear people who are members who go, oh, well, if the church is wrong, it's okay because it's still a good way to live. Well, that means you're questioning it already. Maybe it's a good way to live, but it's good to know if you're living a lie or not. Because guess what? Outside the church, I can live the same principles. I cannot drink. I cannot smoke. I can be morally good. I can do good things for others. I can donate my time and energy to other people to help humanity. Don't be spineless. Have some courage. I'm speaking to you cowards, and I'll bet you most of you aren't listening anymore because you don't want to hear it, because it pricks your heart, doesn't it? You don't want to hear the truth, but that's the truth. I'm laying it to you straight. Stand up for truth.